Welcome to Soul Busy. I'm Rach. And I'm Carly, your CEO and COO sisters. We share unfiltered convo on balancing hustle with mindfulness while running successful businesses with soul and the real life between it all. Last episode of the year. The amount of time that passed by this year so quickly was so scary. I was talking to Mom this morning about how this pregnancy went so fast and slow at the same time, and I pretty much was like, it got pregnant in spring. I think it's so weird how fast pregnancy actually is. I know. I told you that before. I think it's really weird. Like, even some friends that were like recently told me they were pregnant, I feel like they're already 8 months. I'm like, what? Well, but think about it. Think about how fast it actually is, though, because like in under a year, you make a human life like in your body. It's a kind of a comforting thought. It makes me feel better that it's not a full year. I don't like that. If it was a full year, I'd be like panicking even more. I think it takes a full year to like have it recover from it. Like it's a year of your life to like function again back as a human. Yeah. If there's one thing that having 3 pregnancies has taught me in under 4 years is that there's just so many seasons of life. And it's like you kind of have to ebb and flow through those seasons of life with grace. I feel that anyways. I think life is so freaking weird. It really is. And I think you learn so many things at different ages. And like I used to hate when like older people would say to me, like, you don't want to regret anything, or like do everything you want, or like, whatever. But like, it's actually true. Like you don't want to have, I don't want to have regrets when I'm still so young and like cognizant to be able to be like, don't do this or do that or do more of this, or I don't know, eat more of this or work out more or hang out with your family more. Like I can actively do those things now. Like I never want to be someone at the end of my life who's like, you should have done that more. Have you seen that post where it's like, oh, you wake up, you're in your 85-year-old body. You're the one that told me that. And like you get to come back for one day to your 30-year-old body, and like, you smell the smells, you see the sights, like you see all the things, and like you get to live. Like, what does that feel like for you? I want to feel that now, though. I don't want to let. I'm like trying to like do that now. I feel like that's like gratitude and presence. It's like you always kind of have to come back to gratitude and presence in order to be able to realize like I'm living it now. Like life is happening right now. I know you like forget that a lot. I forget that a lot. It's hard to remember. It's like sometimes I just feel like life is so fast and there's so many wants. Why does it feel faster from like 29? I think it's busier. I think when you're busier, things go by faster. Yeah. Or like that I'm more cognizant of it. Like I feel like I don't know if like a lot of my days are more the same than they used to be when I was younger. Well, I look at the girls living their life, right? And like I think about childhood a lot. Obviously, I'm watching like 2 childhoods. That's also been weird. And what's very odd about when I analyze what I'm watching, I'm like, I said to Mike the other day, I was like, they don't know what day of the week it is. Or care. They don't know what time it is. I mean, they're starting to learn. Yeah. Like Lily this morning was like, when will it be late today? She was like, explain to me when like it becomes later. Yeah. And like, she doesn't even understand yet. Like her seasons of the day are just like marked by what food she's going to eat, or, you know, what show she's going to watch, or what rituals. I mean, we do the same thing. But childhood's funny like that. There's no like, there's not as many boundaries. I think you can learn a lot from children, actually. So much. I think the way that like they get excited over the smallest things that make them the happiest beings, and like it's all about playing and fun and friendship and love. Like it's just different. I don't know. I never was able to see that because I haven't been around kids like that. I mean, I've never been around kids enough to be able to like watch them grow up. This age of kids. Yeah. Like when I was a camp counselor, I had the 7 and the 8-year-olds. Yeah. And that was interesting, but that was a different age because they were homesick and they were like all these things. But this age group is interesting because it's like they really are living fully in the present. So I wonder, I don't know if days feel long or slow to them. I have no idea. It's kind of like a funny concept. Yeah. But my days do feel so segmented. Yeah. Like and fast. The weekend days I feel like actually feel longer. I know. I feel like I used to, for my weekends or my life, used to live by like what I was doing on the weekend.
where I'd be like, oh, like excited for, I don't know, a wedding or a hangout with my friends. Like that's not as much of a priority. Not that that's not important to me. It's just my priorities are now more with myself, I would say, than they are with what I'm doing with others or what I'm doing for other people, I guess.
Well, on the topic of seasons of life, when I was analyzing this concept of like that there's ebbs and flows to it all, I was thinking about the divide and like the difference between life skills you always practice and seasons of life that you always feel. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the difference between those two things. Like there's some things I never let go of.
Like the consistent things you always do.
The things I can't let go of. Otherwise I wouldn't be me. Like the characteristics of my life. Yeah. But then there's the things that like for example, right now, like I'm in a season of life where like I can't wake up at 4:30 in the morning, have a productive day, and like work out and like lift weights. Like that used to be a season of my life where I would do it every day.
Well, you're definitely more type A in that way than me.
Oh yeah.
And actually sometimes I'm jealous of people who are type A because I'm like, I wish I like was a little bit more like I have to do this at this time. But I'm not like that at all.
I don't think I was always like that.
No, you were.
No, I don't know.
No, you were. Ask Mom. You were.
You think?
Yeah, and Lily's like that too, Rachel.
I guess maybe I see it in Lily.
And Sadie's not like that.
I don't know.
No, yeah, 100%.
Sadie is definitely more chill.
It's not about like bad or good. Like it's not chill.
Not bad or good.
It's more just like if you say you're going to the gym, unless like something happens, like I know that you're going.
I know I told you this quote. I want to say it again to everybody else that I saw this thing about like laziness.
Yeah.
Not that it's like always laziness. It's like, or productivity, I think. And the girl said something along the lines of, she said, if you focus on the effort it takes to do something instead of the benefit of the outcome, you will always procrastinate the task. So let me say it again. If you focus on the effort, like the daunting effort it takes to get something done, like, like that's going to suck. That's going to be long. That's going to take me forever. I'm not in the mood. Instead of focusing on like, for example, cooking a home cooked meal, right? Like you can be like, I could order this. It will take me no time. I could, it will be so fast. Or like, I don't want to stand and cook for 45 minutes and chop and like, I don't want to do that. Whereas you could instead focus on the outcome of, I'm going to be eating a healthy meal that has really wholesome ingredients and my whole family will be eating it this way. You are more inept to get up and make the meal.
I feel that way, or I used to feel that way about working out. And then when I did it consistently as a habit, at least like 3 or 4 times a week, which went from like 0 to 100 for me, it was easier to actually get the task done. And now I love it. It's like an enjoyable task.
But I think it's also because you're focused on the outcome of health.
It's actually like so weird how daunting people / I used to make things feel that are actually so awesome too. Like, why do we do that? Mm-hmm. I have there's no answer. I don't know the answer.
I don't know. I took a philosophy class once in college and I'll never forget this question. It just sticks with me. The question of the day was like, why is it that if you know a Diet Coke is bad for you or a cigarette is bad for you,
you do it?
Why would you then smoke it?
Rachel, this is so weird. This actually happened to me this week. I wanted a Diet Dr. Pepper. Joe was going to get his grandma scratch tickets for her birthday. And I was like,
that's like the most Joe thing.
She loves scratch tickets.
I do too. I tried to buy one.
She's like a little old Italian woman, like in her kitchen, like sitting there.
I love her.
Scratch tickets. And she's like really feisty. Like I'll be like, oh, like tell me about like your family in Italy. She's like, what do you want to know? And I'm like, okay, you're scaring me. I'm leaving. And Joe's just sitting there laughing. It's actually really scary. But anyways, the moral of the story is I knew the Diet Dr. Pepper on my health journey was bad for me, but I was like, I'm having it. But I don't know why.
Well, right. It's like the conversation led to like the logic versus the pleasure. And that like, it was
and
like,
I loved it.
You're outweighing the benefits of your mind. That I think part of what they landed on was this concept is that like right now, it's not going to do anything to you.
But like eventually it will.
But like eventually you can't feel that. It's so far away that like the repercussions of that choice, like it's not going to affect you now.
I think about the repercussions in the future though. Like when I am, don't you? Because it's like
I do, but I still drink the Diet Coke.
The accumulation of Diet Cokes over time is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, well, like I am pregnant and I'm drinking aspartame. But like it gives me fucking life. Like I am living for Diet Coke right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Also Starburst. Like recently I just like I've been housing Starburst.
I can smell them in the conference room when you're eating them.
You know, it's tough. I think the thing is though about different seasons of life is grace. Is what I've come to learn. It's like I hold myself to a really high standard. Like, and I really want to like achieve, like that's an important thing to me. Like I like to like be impressed with myself. I do. Like I live to impress myself. I honestly get a high from it. And I'm addicted to growth.
That's like Dad.
I'm addicted to growth. I'm addicted to change. And I thrive in change. Like, cause I was analyzing these things this morning and I'm like, I love to see the next version of myself. I think that that's a really healthy thing to be a chameleon and to like want that. But then there's seasons of life. Like right now, I'm in a season of life where I have to prioritize sleep no matter what, like over productivity or even over like a meditation. It's like, if I can lay flat, I have to do it right now.
I think when you pile on kids, like I actually was talking to one of my friends when I was leaving here yesterday and she was holding her toddler. She's pregnant with another baby that's due in January. And she was telling me, she was like, I love having my kids, but I just feel like I'm losing myself, or like you have to like lose a piece of yourself in order to like live. Like, or like,
I think you get it back though.
And I said to her, I didn't really have like much advice on that topic, but I basically just said, I think it's worth it. And then I think you'll figure it out, like life will come back to you in a different way where you'll find yourself again. I think it's like, and it made me think of like a season of life of like, I do have a lot of friends that have kids that are like, oh my God, like this is really, really hard.
On the topic of losing a piece of yourself in motherhood or in becoming a parent, I think there's this gaping hole. I would say all of my friends would agree that you lose a piece of yourself. I don't think that that's like
I think you just have less time for just you. And I think that makes obvious sense.
You have no time for you is really the better, unless you have a partner who can like walk in.
Like you have schedules.
There has to be some organization to it in order for you to have that time, or a nanny or some help, which I think some people have a hard time like relinquishing the duties, right? Like,
most people have full-time jobs.
You have to accept the help too, which is really hard. But I think one thing I would say, if I could speak for moms who are like later in the game, is that you lose a piece of yourself, but you gain such a bigger part. So it kind of fills the hole and fills the cup more. So yes, part of you does die. Yeah. And it's not like a sad death. It's a season of life. That season of life ends.
Yeah.
You have to kind of know that going into parenting, though, that like that season, that journey, the person you once knew will go away. But like I was saying before, the characteristics of who you are as a person don't have to.
Yeah.
So like you kind of have to have like, okay, what stays true and what goes away and what are you okay with?
And I think it's like kind of habit stacking too. Like even previous to having children, like that's what I'm focusing on right now. Like when I have my child or my children, I don't want to like lose this love of working out, or
you don't have to,
because I don't want to do it just to get the prize at the end and then like forget that like you can't. I love that, and I know you can't. And I think some people excuse themselves too easily, and like I think maybe I was excusing myself too easily with things that are really healthy and are really good for me, and even just like sitting alone, like in my sunroom, like having a cup of coffee or tea, like having that time to like digest life. Like, and it could have been, like I think that sometimes I'll excuse myself and people will distract themselves with like being on the go or hanging out with people or drinking or I don't know, whatever habit they like that maybe will not be like the best for them. I don't want to do that like anymore, you know?
Yeah. Like on the topic of drinking too, like I think alcohol is super dangerous. Like I am definitely one where like I'm not talking about like a season of life of drinking more.
Yeah.
Like there would never be a season of my life where I could project that like I'm going to go into a place where I'm having a cup of wine or a glass of wine every night.
I graduated from that pretty early in life.
But I think some people like go back into it.
Yeah.
But like, again, that might be healthier for some moms who like need to decompress or like need to like slow down, and maybe they need that glass of wine.
alcohol has never done it for me. Food had, like, there's certain foods that have always like been like, oh, this is like fun. Like getting a dopamine rush. I'm like out to dinner, but like, I mean, I love a glass of red wine, but like to drink to get drunk,
dinner.
I don't think that has ever helped me.
Or drink to calm down, I think is what I'm more saying. It's just like this concept of you will change and knowing you will change, I think is a good thing to accept and enjoy, like to embrace, right? Like we talk about doing it all, right? Like I think about sometimes like I'm coming up on my 6-year wedding anniversary.
I have no idea.
I
2019.
I realize I'm giving birth, by the way. I forget this all the time, the weekend of my anniversary. So
That's weird.
Yeah, so I'll be 6 years married. And I think back on my life, and I've had in that time 3 homes, 2 dogs, 3 businesses, a podcast, and 3 children will have come out of me. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. And I think about 6 years of myself. And I'm like, you know, people can be like, oh, time went by so fast. Like I know those versions of myself all served me a purpose at different times. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they got you where you were.
Right.
Or where you are.
Learning takes time though, too. You know, like we talk about like you've been changing your lifestyles, right? Like you've been doing all these different things to become a new version of yourself. And that's really commendable. But it also takes time to stay in that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? To like become that, to make that who you are.
Yeah. And
a habit.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's hard.
Well, that's the habit.
I think it's hard. And it's not always
about.
like, I'm not always mentally sound or happy or like feeling my best, even when I'm doing those things either. Like it's not, oh, I completely changed my life and I'm like this perfect version of myself. Like, and I'm never going back. Like that's not true. Like I want to roll around in my old habits at all times, but it's like my will to want more for myself. And no one's going to want that for you. And I think as you get older, you realize that you're more alone than you thought you were.
Right.
And
it's true.
And when you realize that, the only person that can fight for yourself is you.
No one's coming to save you.
Yeah, even my husband's not coming to save me. Like my husband's not coming to save me to be like, let's go for a run. And honestly, ew. Like I don't want someone out to ask me to go for a run. I want my will to live and to be happy, to be on my own shoulders.
It's way more impressive.
And I think like we talk a lot about like, do we feel pressure to do it all or be the best that we can be? Or like, where does that pressure come from for you?
The pressure, I don't know if it's pressure as much as it's like how I want to live my life or like the standards in which or what I want to feel as I'm living my life.
Yeah.
I don't do it all. Like, I think that that's like one of the most important things to say out loud. Like, I'm really good at delegating to say, you know what I mean? So like, do I balance everything in my life gracefully and with class and like happily? Like I'm happy doing it. Yeah, that's a consistent theme in my life. I am not physically the one doing it all. Like I saw this girl, she posted this thing the other day and she was like, how are we doing it all, moms? Like I have a question. Like what is the deal? Like how are you cooking? How are you cleaning? How are you taking care of your kids and then taking care of yourself and then going to the gym and then doing the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And like, I thought to myself, I'm like, isn't the answer so simple? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not doing everything. You're picking and choosing the top priority that day and then the rest you're delegating. Like for example, a season of my life sometimes is food shopping in person and touching my meat and, you know, like touching my
meat.
Touching my meat.
What? I literally was like just taken back. Did you see my face? I literally was like, what?
I saw Alexis's face and she just started and I think I made a motion.
I know what you mean.
No, I think I made a motion.
I like to pick my own meat.
But then there's a season of my life like right now where I'm on Instacart and I'm like, give me the meat. You know,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just give me the meat I can get, whoever's shopping for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Mm-hmm. Like, I relinquish the power.
I think it's pressure from myself.
Touching my meat.
Yeah, I think it's touching my meat. I don't know how to respond after that. I think my pressure comes from myself. And I think that's the best type of pressure that you can give.
I think a lot of moms and busy women or even men would say that their pressure comes from themselves.
Yeah, like I think,
or society.
I think in some sad relationships, pressure comes from your significant other or your friends or your family. And
I don't think pressure is bad in that way, like to up level.
Yeah.
But I think it depends if it feels healthy or
Yeah.
unhealthy, that type of pressure.
And sometimes, like, I feel this might be unrelated to this topic, but in my head, like, my confidence and like my voice and like me speaking my truth in my life is like really important to me. And Joe, we were at a wedding together and he did something that really bothered me. Like, and it was like kind of funny, but like also I was like, don't ever do that again in front of all of his friends. Like I could not, like I literally was like, if you ever say that again, like I will ruin your life. Like I'm not kidding. And and I was like, please don't do that. Like it was like, I was dead.
I can't wait to find out
Rachel,
what it was.
I don't remember, but I know that this happened and I was dead serious. And he was like, I was joking. And I was like, okay, whatever. But like, I'm 32. Don't joke about that anymore. And then one of the wives looked at me and was like, oh my God, I should do that.
I almost just spit out my water.
She literally looked at me. She was like
she doesn't
she's
speak
like,
her
I
truth?
need to communicate like that. And I was like, yeah, you do.
Well, communication like that comes from severe confidence.
No, and I literally was like, and I just laughed at myself. And Joe was like, wasn't fazed by me in any instance.
He's so used to you
at all. I don't even know why this story is relevant to this conversation, but I just was thinking to myself, like, I just try to be like whoever I want to be in my
I'm going to tell you why it's relevant to this conversation, because that's a characteristic you don't let go of.
Yeah.
You are consistently that. You might be like on this new path of health and all these things, but no matter what, you're an honest
She literally was like,
you're an honest bitch.
She said, oh my God, I think she was like,
I love
I'm
her.
gonna communicate like that.
I
And
love
I was
her.
like, yeah. I was like, you speak up if you don't like something. And I feel like this, like that part of my life I'll never let go of. Like that is pressure I will put on myself forever in relationships, in people that I feel like were friends that aren't friends, loyal people, whatever. Like I will always speak my truth and I don't care.
I think though, on the topic of doing it all, like in that girl's post or whatever, like I commented on her post and I was like, the answer.
Did you?
Yeah, I commented. I was like, the answer is
You don't.
Take out. No, it was take out, nannies, Instacart, and like, alone time. That was like my answer. I'm like, it's just like, there's no way you could do all of these things really well. You just have to pick and choose. You know that girl Shonda Rhimes?
Yeah.
Like she
makes
produced
all the
Grey's Anatomy or whatever. There's like this quote by her and she says something like,
how do you remember these quotes?
I don't know.
Super weird.
She says something like, I don't do it all. Like there was days where I had to be on set, like with producing Grey's Anatomy, and I missed a basketball game. And she was like, but then there's days that like I missed something on set and then I went to the basketball game. Like there's always a choice that's being made in doing it all well. For me, like I think it's all about like the segmentation of my schedule too, in order to like be able to work as much as I work and give as much as I give to my children and to myself. I have to segment the time in advance, which in a way, kind of circling back to the start of our conversation, takes that childhood and that presence away from your being.
Yeah, I think especially when you're running businesses where you're responsible for other people too. Like, I think it's tough to explain because everyone always asks, like, what do I do? And it's like, I am constantly on my phone. Like,
I have to be constantly on my phone.
And also based out of fear. Like, I'm just like, I want to check it. I want to make sure like everything's good.
I want fear. I think it's also responsibility.
No, just like, did something happen? Do I need to know something? Like, is the
link
heat
break?
broken?
Yeah.
Like, is Shopify on? I don't know. Like, and I think that's also work. Like, and I think that's like forgotten about too. Like when you're with your kids on a Friday, right? And you're like taking them somewhere and you're in the car getting them ready to go to dinner with Mike or whatever. Like, I'm calling you being like, we need to figure this out or whatever. And you still have to balance and still give me like a proper answer with your brain, like completely like not like frustrated, not like overstimulated.
That's multitasking
you have to make,
though too.
You have to be able to make those decisions that are actual, real, proper, serious decisions while still catering to your children and being a good mom.
I will tell you though, the way that I do that is by having a partner who genuinely understands my life. Like Mike can tell by the tone of my voice.
Like if you need to step away.
Yeah. And he's like, girls, come over here. Like he's like, I know that she's dealing with something, and vice versa. Like if he's on like a call and I can tell the tone of his voice is like serious, I'm like, girls, over here now.
Well, that's what I would say is the only difference between your life and like other lives. And I know other people run businesses and have kids. I'm not saying you're the only person that does that. I think that's unnoticed And that's hard to balance. Like when you're talking about.
I mean, to be honest with you, until you just said it, it's not something I've ever identified as something that's difficult. Yeah. It's just something that has to happen. Like I have to give presence in my answer and like that's not a choice.
Yeah.
So I was thinking though about like, you know, I'm on my third pregnancy, like talk about that season of life. Like by the time this podcast comes out, I think I'll be like giving birth that week or will have had the baby or whatever. And like in between those babies, like I've done like hardcore weightlifting, and then I've done like lost, you know, somewhere around 60 to 70 pounds, like from baby weight to, you know, your wedding, and like did intense fasting, and, you know, my body's changed and my mind has changed and all these things. Now I'm like in this phase where like I'm in my third try. I have less than a month, less than 30 days until I do this again. And then you go into postpartum, right? Where it's like a completely different phase. Like you've been pregnant for 10 months essentially. And now you're just like, okay, now I'm like in children phase, newborn phase, no sleep phase, like need to nourish my body phase, like my vagina hurts phase, like, you know, like all sorts of things. But then you have to also think about like, or for me, a pressure I put on myself is like, how will I bounce back from that phase? One life hack I think I can shed some light on is the manifestation of who that person will be next. Something I do often as like a personal ritual is I think and visualize about the person I want to become next.
I do that too.
And it's super important to me because like right now I've already started. I'm sure you've noticed I started to talk about like the workout I'll do, or the food that I'll eat, or the way I'll be changing my food, or the habits that I'll be changing or stacking. I'm already kind of starting to let myself loom in the headspace of what that time's going to look like for me, so that by the time I arrive there, it's not a surprise. Yeah. I don't need to figure that out then. And that is a really important life hack we have to talk about, is like the seasons of life will change. You need to accept them. They need to be great. But at the same time, you also need to manifest and actively be the person that gets yourself there. You know, so like I'll put that pressure on myself.
I think that's good pressure to put on yourself. I do. I think if you don't have a plan,
right,
then you're failing. What's that saying? If you plan to fail, you fail to plan, or something?
Well, so you remember a quote too.
That's like an old school one.
If you don't plan, you're planning to fail. I don't know.
What have you had to say no to lately?
What have I had to say no to lately? Everything. I literally, like, my only priority right now is how fast I can get back to my bed. I'm not exaggerating to you right now.
Maybe like in the last 2 months or 3 months, like what are things that you feel like you've said no to that you feel like just were maybe too much for you?
I mean, like, I would say business opportunities that like sound cool, that like would require me to travel or whatnot, or like that like art sound awesome, but like I don't have the capacity.
I know.
Like
I feel like traveling for business in the last quarter of the year is really hard.
Yeah, even thinking just right now, like I have to, like, again, projecting to the person I'll be, I have to think about
with kids. It's hard too.
Yeah. I truly, it's not about it's more like, what have I said yes to? The only thing I'm saying yes to these days is like, how can I nap?
Yeah.
I need to nap right now. Like, I'm so tired. Everyone's like, how you doing? How you doing? I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like, and it's not like,
don't say how you doing.
No, really. That's like, I feel like everyone around me is laughing at me or asking how I'm doing.
I'm laughing at you because you're waddling.
I know. I'm so damn short. My belly has nowhere to go. It's just like a monster. But like the end of the day has been really hard.
Yeah.
And so like at a certain point, sometimes I kind of have to say no to like doing parts of the nighttime routine too, which kills my heart. Like I have to look at Mike and be like, you gotta step in. My head hurts. My body hurts. I'm exhausted. These work days in the last few weeks, every day I'm hyping myself up to get through the day. Every day. Like it's a challenge every day. I know I have 6.5 more days and I'm manifesting how I'm going to get through every single one of them because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So like there's not much I'm saying yes to at this time other than like anything that seems easy to me.
I think in this season of life, we've talked about this too. We've been saying no to a lot of things. I feel like this year I made my weekends all about whatever the hell I wanted to do. And I think that's like
super important. I did notice that change in you.
I don't like I'll do some things, like I'll go to some dinners and like I'll
That's important
if
to
I'm
be
feeling,
social and
yeah, like if
have fun.
I'm feeling it, I'll be like, hey, does anyone want to like grab dinner on Friday?
Try a new restaurant,
And
like
usually
live.
I'll make Fridays for others. Like if that's like my plan, like I have kind of secret rules. Like I don't really go out on weeknights. Like my friends know not to ask me. And then like Friday, I'll be like, does anybody want to get dinner? And if it's not Friday, usually Saturday and Sunday are strictly for me.
I think secret rules are really important. And something I've noticed is the people that I'm around a lot, I'll share a lot of common themes. Like it was interesting at our quarterly planning meeting. I thought it was funny when we do like team bonding questions. And one of the questions we asked the team was like, describe your perfect Sunday. And one thing I was thinking about everybody's answer was that like everyone seemed to kind of treat Sunday in the same way.
I think a lot of people in the world do. It's like a slow down day.
I know it's a slow down day, but I don't know if that's actually
For me, it is.
true. I mean, maybe, but like the people in my life I've noticed, like, I think all sort of treat it the same way.
I'm not like a Sunday, let's go get a drink girl. Like that's just never, I'm not a Sunday fun day, but I guess maybe just my age maybe I used to be.
I'm also not the kind of girl
Yeah.
that like wants to take my kids to a brewery on a Sunday and like watch them run around. Like that wouldn't be my activity of choice.
They don't want to go to a brewery.
Right. Well, but some people I think like would enjoy that activity. I don't want that. I'd rather be in nature. I like to do things with my kids that also benefit me.
Yeah.
I don't mean that selfishly. It just like it helps kind of do
I
two
think it's
things at
good.
once.
I think those habits are good. I did see, I saw a quote. Someone posted something about like teaching. Oh, you know what? It was someone who lived in Hong Kong for a little while, and they talked. I think it was a quote about like how they focus on child health a lot. Like so, like they set their children up for like a healthy life as their adults.
Smart.
And I think it said like be in nature, focus on like moving your body, healthy food choices. And I found that really interesting because
Yeah, I noticed a significant change in my children's attitude and well-being when they're in nature more.
yeah, and I think
That's why I like the Cape, honestly.
well, it's easy for them to be,
Nature is
yeah.
easy in the Cape. There's just so many options for it. How would you describe like your like take this year? This is going to be kind of, we're only going to have 2 months left in the year when this comes out. How would you describe like the seasons of life just in this 1 year? Like I feel like you've had a lot of growth and change. Like what would you define this beautiful chapter as? And like before you answer that, I want to say something to you too. It's like I guess we're in a quote episode, but I pulled this quote this morning that I thought was super interesting that I wanted to read to you. And it was this. It was, a human life has seasons much as the earth has seasons, each time with its own particular beauty and power. It was an anonymous quote. I thought it was interesting because it pulls the positivity of like, even a season of life that's challenging has beauty.
Yeah. I think 2025 just made me, I knew I was a resilient human being, but I think it just showed how resilient I actually am. And also my purpose and place in other people's lives too. Like for that, like that was something I never thought like anyone cared about what I had to say or my story or cared about like my fertility journey at all. But like I made a lot of relationships along the way where people like come to me to like feel better and I go to them to feel better. And I feel like what I see versus other people is that I am going to keep going and be very resilient and that I can pick myself back up really quickly and introduce habits to do so and like be really strong to like get better like on my own. Like I don't know, like I feel like I just like a rebirth has happened in my life for me.
Would you take back any part of this year was hard for you? This season of life was hard for you.
It's like hard to answer.
Would you take it back?
Take what back?
Would you change this season of life for you at all? Even though it was hard, would you change it?
No, because I think it got me in a different mindset and I actually did what I was said I was going to do. I'm nowhere near a weight that makes me feel like 100% happy.
You're a healthier person.
But yeah, like that. I used to define health as like the number on the scale, which I'm not going to lie, I still check it every day and I think it's a healthy habit. But I think I let go to be more of a different person rather than just like saying I lost weight, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Interesting.
And I think I do have regrets on not taking care of my body sooner. I think that's okay. Like I'm And I'm not looking for anyone to be like, oh, you can't.
Or just say any bullshit.
Or yeah, like I have regrets of that. And like, that's okay.
That's a fine thing to regret.
I think that's fine. I think the good news is that I'm doing something about it. And I think that's great. And I'm not doing it in any extreme way where I feel like I can't do it forever, which is really what I've always wanted to do. I could never find that healthy balance. And I feel like I finally found it. And I read actually something that you sent me this morning that says, you can revisit every version of yourself later, just not all at once. And I thought that was really interesting because like, there's parts of who I was that are still with me that are still good. And like, it's not like I don't need to
erase and restart.
Yeah,
erase and restart.
I think people feel a pressure to like change everything about themselves. And I don't always think that is 100% necessary. Actually, I have to say, I hate people like that. If you're constantly changing yourself every 90 days and you can't like find yourself and like be who you really are.
Well, that person might be in a season where they're trying to find themselves though. That's the only thing you have to give some credit to.
It's more like you are kind of like a chameleon in a bad way where it's like you're like attaching yourself to other people and being everyone else but yourself. Like that is something I will stand strong in. But to answer your question, I wouldn't change 2025. No, I wish I did some things a little bit differently. Yes, but I'm going to end this year and be thankful this year is over, but I will be grateful for what it taught me.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I don't even know if I answered your question, but I tried.
You did answer the question. It's just, I think it's funny because like some seasons of life are hard. Like in the last 2 months, I've had like a lot of random stupid, nothing that's like, you know, I can't handle, but like a lot of silly challenges. Like my nanny needed to be out for 30 days when I was 9 months pregnant. I got into a car accident. My phone broke. Like, you know, I haven't felt well.
Just like silly disturbances.
That add up.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's when you have to kind of look around. And sometimes like I wasn't negative, but there were days where I was like, I can't catch a fucking break. Like I felt like everyone was like hitting me like from every angle. And I'm like, all right, we need to like pivot here. And that's when I talk about those things, those characteristics or those traits or those personal, you know, routines that bring you back. Like I knew what I needed in that moment. And I think that's what's important. Like I was like, okay, we need a bathtub. We need to meditate.
Yeah, you bring yourself back.
We need a tarot card
Well, no one's
reading.
going to bring you back but yourself.
Yeah, like I was like, we need to communicate.
Yeah.
Like I need some sleep, Mike. Like I was like, I need to like, you need to take over for a second. I'm not feeling well. I called mom. I was like, I need help. Like I'm not doing good right now. Like I'm trying to get through this little moment. But she knew, you know, she was like helping me extra with different things and like lays out my pajamas for me.
Oh,
like,
mom's the best.
Like so cute. Yeah. Like she's been laying out my pajamas so that like I'm okay. So because I don't have to bend.
I call that bitch every morning.
So I don't need to bend,
yeah,
Carly.
She's so funny.
But you leaning on your people, leaning on your tribe, like communicating that like I'm not good right now. And then I'm back. Like I came back. I still had a headache last night, but like I feel so much better this week than I did last week, you know?
I know. Life is so weird. It really is. I started saying that.
Life is so irrelevant, which is honestly the craziest thing in the world. Like I was thinking about it the other day. Like I started to spiral. Like I want to have a boy one day. I want to have a boy one day. I want to have a boy one day. And I'm like, I want to have a son.
Shut up.
No, I know. I'm just thinking about it. It's like, but I hyper focus. And I had a dream that came to me that like, it was like the message that came to me in the dream was stop ruining the future by being a storm in the present. Somebody said it to me in my dream. That. And I'll never forget it because it was like, stop worrying about the future. Just think about right now and whatever's meant to be in your life will be. But the truth is 200 years from now, most people probably won't even know your name or anything that you did or what your life looked like or who you married or what you felt or even how much you loved your kids. No one's going to give a shit. Like
or how much you weighed.
How often do you think about your great, great, great grandma?
I don't.
No, you're not. And it's sad, but it's true. Like our life is fleeting and it's like, it's going to go away and then like we will be forgotten. And so it's funny, like we're sitting here, we're analyzing in depth, like the seasons of life and like what we feel doesn't fucking matter in the end.
Well, I think the bad parts that you feel where you're like struggling or those to me are the biggest seasons where like, it's like, this will pass.
It all passes.
Yeah, it's like you'll wake up the next day. Like after 3 miscarriages, after everyone, I woke up the next day and I was like, okay, I'm going to the gym now. And not in like a serial killer way where like you're like psychotic. It's more just like, okay, on to the next. Like, we're going to fucking keep going.
Yeah.
I don't, like, I can't, my life is not ending today.
Right, no.
So it's like, when anyone feels like they're like, oh, this is so fucking hard, or this is so fucking annoying, or like, it's just like,
I felt that last week.
to get through. It's like, then you wake up the next day and you're like, all right, on to the next.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm breathing. I can walk. Or if you can't, what can you do that like somebody else can't do? Or like, not even by comparison, just like, what are you grateful for?
Yeah. And I think a lot of, in the fertility world on TikTok, a lot of people post where they like struggled for 3 or 4 years or whatever amount of years they struggled. And then they're like pregnant with twins. And they're like, in the depths of my fertility journey, like 3 years of infertility, and now I'm pregnant with twins. I don't even remember that season of my life. Cause you know what I mean? Like it seems to be
actually a super relevant point.
Because you're not remembering that
You're not
struggle.
there anymore.
I'm not going to be 9 months pregnant and be like, remember when I struggled to get here? I'm going to be like, holy shit, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. You're going to forget about all those things. I think
you're going to remember it on your first.
Yeah.
Like your first baby, I think you're going to get it out and it's going to feel so, like when that baby's in your hands, I think about that moment a lot for you. I manifest that moment and I'm like,
that will feel great.
No, not only will it feel great, you will feel the weight of what you felt. It will come out of you. Like you'll cry and you'll be like, oh, I did it.
Yeah.
That will be the moment you're like, I did it. Then on your second baby, when you're getting pregnant and it happened easier and you knew what to do and you have the baby in your hand, you're going to be like, oh, that season. I forgot about that season.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit closer.
It's interesting though, because I used to be this person who would live from a timeline where I'd be like, I want to be engaged by 28. I want to be married by 30. I want to have kids by 31. I want to have this. It's like, but every year, every month that passes by, I'm like, okay, well now I'll get pregnant and like, you know what I mean? Like I'll get pregnant. I was wanting to be pregnant in April. Now I'm going to get pregnant in July. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well that didn't work out. Now
it kind of sets you up for failure.
Yeah.
In a way.
It does. So it's like, I think as long as you're just.
And disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the normal.
It's a new
round
human
of life.
reaction.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that though, because like business has actually taught me a lot about that. Like on the topic of finances and money, our businesses have always grown year after year.
Yeah.
They've always grown. I've never focused on the growth. There has never been a time where I've sat down and been like, we need the business to grow. Do you know what I mean? Like
it is true. I actually thought about this the other day when I sent you like whatever text I sent you. I was just laughing because like we never even look.
I don't look.
Yeah. I not in a negligent way.
You mean like financially?
Yeah. Like no. We look at the financials. I'm saying it's not like the main focus.
No, like I look at the revenue every day.
Me too.
I have to look at Sleepy Tide because it's Shopify and I have to know like what we have coming in. I only look 4 times a year at the profit and loss
overall
from the
picture,
plane. Because what I like to do and what I challenge myself to do is be so present on the activity that I can put forth that day and the productivity I can put forth that I think that will amount to the results of higher revenue or better profit or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I'm never, ever thinking about like, we need to get to 30% growth this year. Like that's not a goal, but then it just happens.
Yeah.
So it's like that worry sort of is for nothing. You know what I mean? Like you can worry like, will I find the love of my life? But you will. You have to focus on that manifestation of seeing that life for yourself.
I think sometimes too, when you over focus on something, it makes it even harder to come true.
Well, I'm sure you feel that way in terms of what you've been dealing with this year.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have been different people in different parts of my pregnancy journey. Like I'm like, this time I'm the biggest worrier and I am like psychotic and I need to be like a crazy person and I'm negative Nancy. And then there's other persons where I was like more chill and I'm like, whatever, like this is going to happen. And like, and then there's other ones where I'm like doing everything I possibly can to like make the outcome what I want it to be. I just think I've been so many different versions of myself and I think in that type of trauma, but
I can't wait to meet the next version.
I don't think there's any rule book for that.
No.
I think it's kind of whatever you feel.
You just gotta flow as you grow. You gotta flow as you grow. And I love it. I feel like we've had a great year. Last episode, thank you for listening this year. It's been a harder year, I think, for us to podcast, but definitely like still something I've loved. We already have a whole plan, speaking of manifestations and plans for next season. season 4, we have topics and we're excited about like what we're going to discuss and the way we're going to run it. We have every single one booked. Like it's going to be an awesome year. I can't wait to candidly share what it's like to have 3 kids and Carly to have 1. And it's going to be an
I like come back
time.
like the first episode and I'm just like big fat belly.
Yeah, no. Yes, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. And I think too, like my advice for anyone, like at the end of this year, if this year was hard or absolutely amazing, like I feel like it's always nice to look forward to something and like have a new fresh start. And like, I love the idea of January being like fresh and new. It's like a new notebook.
Oh,
like
I love a new notebook.
It's like a new notebook, but like I look forward to a new year. I don't look back at the year and be like, oh, that year's over. Fuck. It's more like,
I think a lot of people like to have a clean slate.
I love a clean slate. I love a clean quarter. And I think dreams will always come true if you really believe in them. Like I'm really big on like the spiritual,
or if you're focused in the right place,
magic of like the Instagram, like those messages that we send each other or that I repost, like I really, for some reason, like are connected to those. I don't know why.
Well, it feels aligned and words have power, you know? But I'm excited for a fresh 2026. It's going to be an incredible year. The best year of our lives yet. I wish that for everybody listening and wish you all
Happy New Year.
Happy
Thanksgiving because I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. I hope it's the best one you've ever had.
Rock on.
With love and light. Rock on.